How y'all doing out there? This is the Black Effect, the real Black Effect. Believe that. All right. What I want to talk about and talk to my people about is the demonic influence in rap. It's not anything else that we need to detach ourselves from more so than the demonic influence that's in rap. It wasn't always there. What do I mean by that? I'm going to explain. I'm going to break it all down. But this wasn't always there. I'm going to tell you the key players who ushered this in and what it does. See, when rap first started, it had a spirit. It's a spirit behind everything. I mean, rock and roll was hijacked from black people. And then look at what happened with heavy metal and all of the Kiss and all of the stuff that the Ozzy Osbourne. Look at the stuff they was doing, biting the heads off bats. Look at how it turned. You have niggas biting their heads off bats, pissing on people on stage and stuff like that. So written rap, you had it start off at a positive turn. The spirit behind it was positive. It was the spirit of rebellion, it was the spirit of the underdog, the spirit, and it also had a fun spirit to it. It was ours. It was for people of ethnic groups. It was for blacks and Hispanics. It was for ethnic culture. In the inner city youth as well, the inner city ghettos. It was for them. But it was made and created by blacks and Hispanics. When hip hop took off at first, again, you had people like KRS-One, who was more positive than negative. He did have some negativity as well, but you had people like Grandmaster Flash. You had people like LL Cool J. You had people like Brand Nubian. You had Das Effects. You had Chuck D, Public Enemy. You had MC Shan. You had Rakim. You had a lot of people in the culture, Busy B, Heavy D, who had a lot of positive messages to them. Leaders of the New School with Busta Rhymes, who had positive messages. Tupac, when they first came out with Digital Underground. Listen to Tupac's first two albums, as a matter of fact. Tupacalypse Now. But Pac was talking some real. Pac was so ahead of his time, man. I mean, he really was. I mean, he was a polarizing character for a reason. Like Tupac was really like the greatest rapper of all time. I mean, he had such a huge impact. Like he embodied everything, the struggle, the positive and the negative. It's kind of like he was both, and he embodied the representation of black people very well, like the people who started this and who owned it or whatever, and and embodied the struggle that black people deal with, or that we're dealing with, period, as people coming out of the ghettos at the time, and if you're being real, there is a duality to it, to just like there's a duality to people, but you have to make the choice of who you want to be. And I think Pac was showing that like in real time. Like you were seeing him. He was talking about creating the one nation. He was taking Puff Daddy out of the game, and everybody who was affiliated with him, the phonies and the fakes is what he called them. He was taking them out of the game, removing them, and aligning himself with more of the people who had his same spirit. Again, Pac was trying to, though he seemed like he was the bully, and I'm using air quotes here, it seemed like, because Puff Daddy and Big behind the scenes, in people's face at the time, they tried to make it seem like they didn't want no beef. But behind the scenes, they were fueling the fire, egging it on. In actuality, they were the ones who was on what Puff Daddy's in. He was the one who was the aggressor. Do you understand? Like after us at a certain point in time. So, but Pac was trying to take out. Listen to Pac's music. Go back and listen to that. Just like in the others before that, it was a spiritual element to it. You had people, the DOC. You had people who were not only conscious of who they were, they had a spiritual awareness, you know, a repentance to the things, to their music. It wasn't glorifying to shake some ass or I'm going to take some cash, I'm going to shoot you in the head. Though that was in the music, they had a repentance in their music as well and a spiritual element to it. Now, on the flip side, you have people like Biggie Smalls, who was calling himself the son of Satan. He said when he died, he want to go to hell. You had other people flipping lyrics like that. The Styles P, the people who was down with Bad Boy, they were flipping demonic lyrics. Look at Bone Thugs with the demonic lyrics, saying how they sold, they stay praying to the Ouija god, Scarface and them, and the Ghetto Boys. Look at who like was aligning themselves with Biggie and them. Like when Pac died, Scarface seemed like he was on the fence, but when Pac died, he aligned himself with Snoop and them. He did that song that Ride or Die. It was they had a compilation with Snoop, Scarface, Jada Kiss, and it was all on the Rough Riders all over on the Rough Riders album. So Scarface was messing with them too. And this is what you get now, the element of the demonic rap that is taking over. But I'm just giving you the timeline that it was a shift that to where at first, like even and the powers that be, they like Eminem, they wouldn't let them say certain blasphemous things, certain like, because rappers would try to get real ill. Like, again, man, Biggie was going crazy. Biggie would say, he had a lyrics talking about Hail Mary full of grace, smack her in the face, take a Gucci bag. Like, this dude was talking crazy, and he wasn't the only one. You got the dude Tech Nine. You have some demonic like rappers pushing that, and if at one time there was rappers pushing against that. There was other rappers pushing against that spirit. There was a polarizing war going on. There was, between two, and it was you had to really have discernment and listen to lyrics and understand that there is a spiritual aspect pulled behind these things, and to understand what was going on at the time. Because again, Puff Daddy, just because somebody tell you going to church and telling you, that they got a pastor and stuff, that don't mean nothing. Look at their actions. Look at Puff Daddy now with the demonic imagery that they put up, and it's like I said, it's not just him. It's a lot of people. That's where the rap game has went. That's where it's been taken over. Now I want to ask you as a black man or black woman who listen to this and who is a fan of hip hop, do you want it to be a part of it on a demonic, when it taking this demonic turn? Do you want to be on the demonic side of hip hop or the light side of hip hop? Which one? And we have to pick at this point. Yeah, it's time to pick, because right now you got mostly women who are, getting most of the attention right now. It's kind of like the reverse, and men don't pay attention to those raps the same way that, when Snoop and them came out with the bitches ain't shit raps and stuff like that and songs, women were pushing back against that. Real women, now the hoochie mamas and stuff, they was loving that. But you had real women who were like, nah, man, who you calling to be, and all that. So they wasn't listening around down the street jamming that. That was for the brothers. So now that Lotto talking about now that Ice Spice someone shake some buttons and give a dude a BJ, that's for the sisters and for the for the ones who are on the demonic side of hip hop. So I can go on and on about this, but I just want to touch on it a bit. With that being said, this is The Black Effect. I'm gone.